Yeah. So this is where we are supposed to start. Do you want to go back a couple of this one, starting with the food?
Yeah, quickly we can go through many without discussion. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we can just
Food
start
is the
that. Yeah.
Yeah, food is the four elements and is and it is taken in as solids, liquids, air, sunlight, and starlight. And in starlight, the solid food contains the other three, just as the physical world is a precipitation of the other three worlds, as the physical plane is matter condensed from the other planes of the physical world, and as the structure elementals contain the form, the portal, and the causal. The solid and liquid forms of food entered through the digestive system. The airy and some of the fiery foods entered through the respiratory system. But these are only the most apparent ways. Starlight enters also through the eyes and through the skin. With the breath, food from the four elements is taken in directly from one's physical atmosphere, where it is held in suspension. No matter how the food is taken in, it all goes into the digestive system.
Here I want
There,
to
the
make
other,
one point. If you have heard the interview of Sun Yogi, right? He said
yeah,
for
uh,
12 years he had not eaten anything,
yes, yes, I heard him.
correct?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
he used to say, my bowel movement would not happen, but
yeah.
my urinary system was working. So I asked the question, where am I getting it from? Because I'm not consuming anything, right? In answer to that, this is what he realized. The starlight and sunlight, he was sitting in the sun and taking the energy from there. But then that energy already in the atmosphere, you have all the four elements in which water is there. So that was going through the system. And then it was going through, it is lying in suspension. All the four elements are lying in suspension, he is saying, right?
In the food.
So, yeah, you don't have to necessarily take physical food, is the point there. Yeah.
Yeah. There are other three systems also work on it. The
Hmm.
fourfold physical breath, as it flows in and out of the body, it causes a peristaltic action in the organs and tubes of each of the four systems. Each breath causes the peristalsis in its own system, and each sense stimulates the function in its system under the peristaltic impulse.
Hmm.
So, peristaltic action is nothing but muscular contraction
Yeah.
and
No, I
releasing.
actually cut that and pasted it here. You can read this.
Yeah, peristaltic means relating to a series of waves like muscle contractions that move food, urine, and bile through the body. Peristalsis can also refer to a type of pump that uses a rotating wheel to move fluid. Okay.
So both are that is the actual meaning of that. Yeah. Let's continue.
As food is moved in the digestive system, this fourfold stream of the physical breath, each stream acting with its stimulated peristalsis affects the food. As food is moved in the digestive system, this fourfold stream of the physical breath, each stream acting with its stimulated peristalsis affects the food. Okay. The
Just
physical
give
breath
me
also.
1 minute. No, just give me 1 minute, right? So, what
Yeah.
is happening in terms of the fourfold breath in us, right? Okay. Now, if you take the the fourfold breath, everyone knows, right? We have Prana, apana, udana, samana, vyayana. Right? One flows across the body. The outer one that you are seeing, this is vyayana. Okay. Now what is he saying? Udana. Udana is in the region of throat to head. It moves upward. Okay. Speech, memory, intake, will, effort, mental strength, balance, sensing, and intelligence is activated with Udana. Then you have prana, which is in the chest region. It is moving downward. Life-giving energy, vitality, respiration, circulation, sensory motor, temperature, feeling, thinking. That is handled by this. Samana, right? Samana is focusing in the abdomen, balancing the four other vayus: digestion, distribution, nourishing and integration. Okay. Now, Vyayana is the whole body. It is more like the aura. It is feeding the aura. That means all the radiation that is getting pulled out and pulled in, all that is being managed by the Vyayana, which is basically diffused energy, movement, diffused energy movement, nerves, heartbeat, circulation, joint, and muscles. That is acted upon by Vyayana. It is activating through the aura. And apana, pelvis to feet, downward moving energy, excretion, urination, menstruation, ejaculation, birthing, kandarpa, that is apana in Muladhara. So these are all the functions that are done. Right? So this is the 5 actions of the breath in us. Yeah, let's go further.
So
Seeing the food.
seeing the food, what is said and heard while eating it, tasting it, and smelling it have a direct bearing on the digestion.
So that
So,
energy form, right? The impact of the energy, because all these are getting loaded on the breath that is moving the entire system. That is impacting the function. Yeah, let's go further.
the salivary glands and their secretions, the gastric juice is poured out from the walls of the stomach. The liver gives its bile, the pancreas its fluid, and the intestinal digestive glands their secretion. So all these they pour in their gases, their juices, gastric juices or other fluids. The four senses cause the activity of the juices and of the ferments in them. Oh, the four senses help all these activity of the juices to ferment and also the fermentation process. Thereby, proper changes are made in the food, which is turned into a chyme in the stomach and later into chyle and becomes ready for absorption and assimilation in the intestines. In the circulation, the kidneys strain the blood and free it from impurities, and the adrenals pour out their secretion, which empowers the red and the white blood cells, keeps the blood and lymph in circulation, invigorates the sex glands and the ductless glands. The respiratory system takes in air as food, supplies oxygen to the blood, and eliminates waste matter. This system is the channel through which starry matter flows into the
System.
This system is the channel through which starry system flows into the generative system. The seat of the generative system is the pituitary body, and it has organs and branches in all parts of the brain and throughout the body. So
Hmm.
pituitary body, it plays a very important
Yeah,
role
so
in all
all
the,
your endocrine, everything is under the influence of this.
yeah.
Yeah.
The generative system is the source of the other three systems.
What are
It
the four
begins in
systems? Just to repeat for the benefit of
digestive,
all.
respiratory,
Digestive,
yeah, generative, digestive, circulatory, respiratory.
right. So when he says generative system, that is in the pineal and pituitary, in that area, it's in the cranial, the head area.
Oh, okay. It begins it begins in the fused cells as a point, grows into a line and a surface. Oh, it grows into a line and a surface and becomes a circle within a sphere.
Correct. So that is the ring formation at the time of the fetus development. Because you are a unicellular body, cellular body, which is
I was
then
thinking
through, pardon?
I was thinking generative system, it is in the pelvic region, isn't it? That's where the
No,
cell
no, no, no.
formation
But
starts.
then it starts here.
Ah,
That is why he says, the mother's breath and the AIA, everything, it starts from here because the brain has to trigger the organs.
formation.
The organs are in the pelvic region, but the body is in the pituitary and pineal. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So all that starts in the pituitary.
Yeah, I mean, this is explained even in that 3-page research report I had circulated, no? Embryogenesis and
Okay, yeah.
hmm.
I didn't read it. Okay, yeah. And the chakras, the one you said,
Yeah,
yeah,
the
embryogen.
chakras and embryogenesis.
Yeah. Okay, the generative system is the source of other three systems. It begins in the fused cells as a point, it grows into a line and surface, and it becomes a circle within a sphere.
This
This
is the
circle,
embryogenesis, actually. Yeah,
circle
embryology.
separates in, it separates into the spine and the digestive tract. Okay. Oh, somebody is asking, is there a Zoom link? Kumar,
Hmm?
Kumar in the
I'll post it, madam. I'll post it. You go ahead.
I think it is in the Seth group they might have asked.
okay. From
No,
some
no,
part
it's
of the
here
generation,
only. It is your Kumar Dangi, sir.
yeah. From some part of the generative system, the allantois is created. The
The
later
allantois.
is
What organ
created.
is allantois?
Isn't it the liquid, liquid that the where the baby lies?
No, I don't know what it is. I better.
Yeah.
Allantois is a sac-like structure
Sac,
that forms.
it's a bag. It's a
Yeah,
bag-like thing
Embryo
in which yeah. That's
exact. Okay.
developing embryo of reptiles, birds, and mammals. All of them rest there. It is a sac.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
That letter
That late
protrudes through, yeah, a sac.
amniotic.
that
Yeah.
yeah,
Amniotic sac.
that
That is
protrudes the amniotic sac and the chorion fastens itself to the wall of the uterus and becomes the placenta.
mm,
Correct.
With with the placenta, develop the kidneys, adrenals, and the heart and lungs, and the circulatory and respiratory systems are started within the divided circle. The kidneys, working through the heart, carry on the circulation, which is not independent until the intake of breath after after birth. Sorry, breath after birth.
Hmm.
The kidneys working through the heart carry on circulation, which is not independent until the intake of breath after birth. So kidneys, the heart, they depend on the mother until the birth of the baby.
Yes.
The generative system is the beginning of the physical body from the fecundated cell, the carrier of vitality during the existence of the body, the governor of the nervous system, and of the ductless glands. Okay, generative system is the beginning of the physical body from this fecundated cell, the carrier of vitality. So all these during the existence of the body, the governor of the nervous system. Okay, so nervous system is the first beginning, he is saying, important for this. Seed production in the adult is but one of its functions.
So that
During
is
life,
one of the functions of the generative system. Yeah.
during life, the generative system regulates the secretions of the ductless glands such as pituitary, thyroid, thymus, spleen, and adrenals. So this generative system regulates all these ductless glands. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. By these secretions, the activities of all four systems are maintained from the pituitary body. The generative system inspires the ferments and secretions of the organs and thereby causes the digestion, absorption, and assimilation. At death, it cuts itself off from the other three systems, which are then unable to function. The generative system makes an extract of 4 grades of radiant matter from all the foods. Oh, it extracts all the energy.
तो इसीलिए कहते हैं ना, ब्रेन डेड हो गया तो आदमी मर गया. That's the reason the generative system, na, it is in the pituitary pineal. So when the brain is dead, so it cuts off itself from all the other functions.
Digestion, absorption. Correct.
Yes.
So the generative system makes an extract of 4 grades of radiant matter from all the foods. The first is small in amount and is of radiant matter drawn directly by means of the nerves from food in the digestive system. The second grade is the largest in amount and is radiant matter drawn from food that has passed into the circulatory system. So first one is from the digestive system, second one from the circulatory system. The third grade is radiant matter drawn from food in the respiratory system, and the fourth and most important and most potent grade is elaborated from starry matter that has reached the generative system itself. Wow.
Starry matter,
So
where does it go from?
Starry
the
matter.
Eyes. Starry matter also enters through the eyes and skin.
Yeah, eyes and skin.
Mm.
So the fourth and most important grade is elaborated from starry matter that has reached the generative system itself. The 4 kinds of extracts are elaborated in the testicles and the ovaries for seed and for soil, so that in the seed and in the soil are represented all parts of the body in essence.
Okay.
Okay, after the seed and the soil are brought to a certain point, they take on independent life as spermatozoa and ova. From these extracts of starry matter, the generative system makes a tonic tincture and turns this tincture back into the other systems and into itself.
So it creates the generative system, respiratory system, all of them from this. Now, this starry matter is what I think gets influenced by the star energies, which eventually connect to a sort of a zodiac system. Are you all with me?
So through the skin. So they're all connected through our skin and the
They're all
eyes.
connected and they are influencing.
Influencing.
Right. Now, this is not astrology, mind you.
No,
Okay.
not astrology. No, yeah.
Yeah. No. When I said it connects to the zodiac, people will start thinking in terms of astrology and all, which can only be associated of your starry position at the time of birth. After that, astrology has no meaning from this statement. Yeah, let's go further.
From these extracts of starry matter, the generative system makes a tonic tincture and turns this tincture back into the other systems and into itself. The generative system is the ultimate cause of well-being and disease. So the generative system is the ultimate cause of well-being and the disease. Oh, can we go down?
No, I
One page
mean,
down.
you skipped this, isn't it? After the seed.
Oh, after the seed and the soil
Ah,
are
no,
brought
you
to a
did it.
certain.
You did it. Yes, we did it. Yeah. So now we are going into this point. Okay.
The generative system is the ultimate cause of well-being and the disease. It gives the tonic tincture to the involuntary and the voluntary nerves, and in this way returns to the digestive, circulatory, and respiratory systems that which is made from the extract of the food that passed through them. Because of this tincture, the other three systems are kept going. A life-giving quality can be taken in by respiration and sent to all parts of the body. The blood can be circulated and food can be digested. While these transformations are going on, light is being extracted from the food in its first and subsequent forms.
Where is it gone? Ah, yeah. While
Okay, I finished.
we'll just read it once. Can we just read it once? I think suddenly the screen shifted.
Oh, again, the generative system.
Yeah.
Generative system is the.
No. Just these. The last line.
Okay.
They highlighted.
Okay.
While these transformations.
While transformations are going on, light being extracted from the food in its first and subsequent forms.
So what are those forms? He said which part of light, all the four grades. That is the one he is referring to. Right? The four radiant matter that is getting extracted, right? Yeah.
Yeah, four different kinds of foods. Yeah.
Ah.
The digestive, circulatory, the respiratory, and the generative breaths work each upon its system in the body to take up a certain part of the food and of the light which is in it and carry the light into the generative system. So along with the food, it is also carrying the light. That is the energy, isn't it?
Yeah. The
Finally,
consciousness, intelligence, the light of intelligence, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Finally, the generative breath transfers a portion of the light connected with the food to a lunar germ. So finally, the generative breath transfers a portion of the light connected with the food to a lunar germ. That's what I was thinking, like this, the Chandranadi.
Yeah.
Physically, these processes are controlled by the pituitary body. It controls the four systems and the four physical breaths by means of the involuntary nervous system and its involuntary actions. Light going back to the noetic atmosphere goes through the generative system. Okay, light going back to the noetic atmosphere goes to from the pituitary generative system. The four
Because
grades
generative system is the one that is in touch with the noetic atmosphere.
Yeah, correct. Light going back into the noetic atmosphere goes through the generative system. The four grades of extract have in them light and the 4 grades of extract have in them light and circulate in the generative system. While they are in the head, the fire current of the
The
fourfold
fire
breath.
current of the four
Yeah.
breaths. Yeah.
While they are in the head, the fire current of the fourfold breath can draw light out. The light that moves up and down in the generative system is light that is contained in the radiant matter that was extracted from the food. The automatic transfer of light to the noetic atmosphere is made by the generative system naturally to the noetic breath when there is enough light in the generative system. The noetic atmosphere exercises by means of the noetic breath a continuous pull for its own light. This attempt to raise its light out of the generative system is contrary to the pull which nature makes there for the light. What is this? I didn't understand. What is this attempt to raise its light? Can you explain this?
The noetic atmosphere.
See, what is if I've understood right, what is saying is, see, nature is taking light, right? Absorbs, diffuses from you. But at the same time, your generative system is connected with the noetic plane there. So this contracts. When the noetic plane is not trying to get that light over there, it contradicts the fact that nature is trying to pull the light from your body.
Okay. Other way. Okay. In the nature
Yes,
pulling it.
that's what I understand.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, got it. The noetic atmosphere exercises by means of the noetic breath a continuous pull for its own light. This attempt to raise its light out of the generative system is contrary to the pull which nature makes there for the light. Yes, the noetic breath contacts indirectly the generative physical breath, that is the fire current of the fourfold physical breath in the head, and there takes some of the light off back into the noetic atmosphere.
Off and back into the noetic atmosphere. Then
yes, in the head, and there takes some of the light off and back into the noetic atmosphere. There is in the generative system other light which does not come. Where is this? Which does not come out of the nature, but it comes through the pituitary body from the noetic atmosphere.
So this is the point that he is trying to make here. On one side, it is from nature, it is not from nature. In this atmosphere, it is coming from. Yeah?
Yeah.
Right.
Some of this light is sent out monthly in the lunar germ to gather light that has come in from nature. Some of this light sent out monthly in the lunar germ to gather light that has come in from the nature.
Is that the full
The
moon?
lunar. What is it?
Is that the full moon?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's the full moon energy.
I think so. Yeah.
Some of this light is sent out monthly in the lunar germ. That's what I'm thinking too. Yeah. Lunar germ cell control. A lunar germ is made of matter of the 4 worlds and has mingled with it essential matter of the 4 worlds, that is matter which has circulated so long that it has reached ultimate states of refinement.
Correct. So that is the point. That is that lunar germ. Yeah. Okay.
Explain this again. A lunar germ is made of matter of the 4 worlds. Okay.
What are
and
the
has
4
mingled.
worlds? What are the 4 worlds? We are all clear, right? Radiant, airy,
Fluid, and
earth crust, right? So it has mingled with it. It has passed through the state of existence in each to the radiance to the maximum. Okay, that is what he is talking about. It has circulated so long that has reached the ultimate state of refinement.
Mining
That
and
means it is
radiant.
ready as a nature matter. It is ready to take life into it, creating a breath form. So let us see.
In addition to the general matter and to this essential matter, a lunar germ bears the impress of the doer and has in it consequently light of the intelligence.
So it is having the impression also now. It is
Yeah,
probably ready to become the AIA or something like that.
so it has the impression of the doer. The
Yeah.
lunar germ, material but invisible. Both the
It
lunar
is,
germ
yeah.
and the
Hmm.
both lunar and the seed or soil are builders of bodies.
So now this is where he is slowly taking you there. In the regenerative system, either it builds or repairs.
Hmm.
Yeah.
With the seed and the soil, the outer physical body is started. With the lunar germ, inner bodies may be built.
Hmm.
The spermatozoa and ova are both as female
No,
to
no,
the
no, no,
lunar
no.
germ.
Note the subtle difference in both the statements. What is the
Oh,
first
okay, okay.
one?
And soil, okay. Oh, the lunar germ is material but invisible. Both the lunar germ and the seed or soil, they are builders
Are
of
builders
bodies.
of the bodies. One is doing the
Yeah,
outer body, one is doing the inner body.
yeah. So lunar germ gives the a consciousness, that radiant energy,
Yeah.
and then the seed and soil is the nature, from
So
nature.
he is now taking to the next step there. Yeah.
Okay. With the seed in the soil, the outer physical body started. With the lunar germ, inner bodies may be built. The spermatozoa and ova are both as female to the lunar germ, and it is male to them. Only the gross physical elements flow through the seed and the
Not
soil,
made, it is
and
as it is male to them.
as it is male to them. Sorry, the
The
spermatozoa and ova.
spermatozoa and the ova are both as female to the lunar germ and
It is male
as
to them.
male to them. Yeah.
As
To
male to
both of
them.
them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
It has both. His
Yeah.
language is okay. Only the gross physical elements flow through the seed and the soil, and these are deficient in finer forces of physical matter. Okay. So only gross physical matter doesn't have this finer forces. A lunar germ supplies these deficiencies and has in it contacts of forces of the other three worlds.
Okay. Hmm.
A lunar germ
Must
A
be.
lunar germ must be united to the seed or the soil to produce a body which is not entirely deficient.
So it is giving a part of it, the other part is going to come from the light that it is taking.
Yeah,
Yeah,
from the lunar germ.
correct.
There, there ought to be, for a proper human body, a lunar germ in the seed and lunar germ also in the soil.
Only then will be the full complement.
Yeah. In each month after puberty, the generative system produces one of these lunar germs in the pituitary body.
Figure
When the lunar germ
6AA,
matures,
right? Let's just see the figure.
six,
Figure 6AA.
yeah, this is it.
So this is the one. Oh, yeah. What is he saying? What is this link I posted here? Okay, the anatomy. Okay, right. This figure shows the contours of the brain, the third and fourth ventricle, I think people can read this.
Yeah. The ventricle spaces the convolution of the brain. Oh, note how the third ventricle reaches and the rear part of the pituitary body. This rear part is the seat of the doer in the body, that is pituitary. The front part is the seat of the breath form, which controls the involuntary function of the body.
So is the lunar germ can we consider that as like meridians? I'm kind of confused with the term and how to interpret that with the.
No, he says lunar germ. He has said here, no? Lunar germ is made up of matter of the four worlds. Right? It is material. Lunar germ is material. That means it has got a form, but is not.
Invisible.
It is not visible. It
I
has
mean,
not
that
yet
is-
become physical.
Yes, it is invisible. That's why it is making up the inner
Correct.
body.
Correct. So it is just matter here.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we need to go down one more page, I think.
Yeah, I'm going.
Oh, yeah.
No, one second. Yeah, here. We went to this figure. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. In each month after puberty, the generative system produces one of these lunar germs in the pituitary body. When the lunar germ has matured and has life of its own, it leaves the pituitary. Okay. It starts from there in a rudimentary way on the right side and passes down in the involuntary nervous system, having a little light which attracts other light as it descends in the nerve plexus, supplying the digestive system in the abdomen until it reaches the lowest point. So
Which
basically,
is 6B. What is 6B? That means it is going through all these systems, starting at the pituitary, right? No,
yeah,
did he
going
say
through all body.
6AB or did he say 6B? One second. Yeah, 6B. Saying it's going through all these nerves, the system, and slowly coming to the end.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. Well, where is that? Yeah, 6B. So we saw the right one now. Yeah.
Okay.
From that
From
point.
From that point, the lunar germ, having crossed over to the left side, ascends along the involuntary nervous system and is carried by the generative breath to the region of the left kidney. So it comes down and crossed over to the left side, ascend along the involuntary nervous system and is carried by the generative breath to the region of the left kidney. So it is coming from the right, from the pituitary, from the right side, down, and it crosses and goes into the kidney, it seems.
Okay, then let us see.
During all this, light from the food along the digestive tract, light from the blood, and light from the organs of the body attaches itself to the light in the lunar germ for automatic reclamation. Okay. So basically, okay.
So it has to get converted to life or it has to get ejected from the body, right? Yeah, so let us read further.
So it is taking light from the food and all blood and other organs and it passing and reclaim into the body. While a lunar germ is in existence and carries light, it may be deprived of some of the light by an outburst of anger or state of jealousy, envy or revenge, but it will always carry some light until the germ is lost. Okay. It is lost in outgoing seed or soil. it is not connected with seed or soil until that is precipitated and lost. If the lunar germ has risen with its diffused light to the region of the kidneys, some of that light is taken away by the psychic breath and carried upward in the involuntary nervous system.
Hmm.
Psychic breath
So
is made to
it is
do.
becoming an emotion. Yeah.
The psychic breath is made to do this by the mental breath, acting with it and obeying the pull of the noetic breath for the light.
Hmm.
Then
Then let us see. Yeah.
the mental breath takes the light and carries it along the thoracic vertebrae to the region of the cervical vertebra.
Hmm.
Okay, a psychic breath, and then from the psychic breath, it pulls to the noetic breath. Then the mental breath takes the light and carries it along the thoracic vertebra and the throat, I think, to the region of the cervical vertebra. The
That is
mental breath
here.
is
Yeah. Hmm.
the mental breath is made to do this by the noetic breath acting within it.
Hmm.
The noetic breath takes the light along the pons and the quadrigemina to the pineal body and into the noetic atmosphere. So it goes
Okay.
into the pineal body.
Hmm.
So finally it goes into the pineal body. The return of the light to the noetic atmosphere is automatic. Return of the light to the noetic atmosphere is automatic. It is done without the knowledge of the human and usually without the possibility of interference by him. Though certain habits like the consumption of alcohol or of narcotics or excessive sexuality may hinder even the automatic reclamation. The purpose of automatic reclamation of a certain amount of light is to keep enough in the mental atmosphere. To keep enough in the mental atmosphere to furnish the human with the light necessary to continue living and carrying on his activities as a human.
So some level of understanding, it is his the state of existence, that is what is conveyed here. So what does that, how is that achieved? Let us read further.
The returning of light from the nature goes on continually in every human. Only a certain amount of light is allowed by the triune self to its doer, and the doer must husband and reclaim what light is loaned to it.
Sir, I also don't understand this particular
I
word.
don't know.
No. What I have understood is like this. See, we have always been talking about the light uh, from the triune self, which doesn't always reach completely to the
Human.
doer, right? With
Yeah.
the doer in the body.
No,
So
but
that's what
then this is not doer in the body, sir. He is not
no. Wait.
referring to, yeah,
No. Well, let me see. How does doer in the body come? From the doer of the triune self, right?
correct.
Part of it gets tapped here. Okay, now, so only that little part of the light that is there goes to the doer. See, there is the doer, the thinker, and the knower. The light has to come from the knower and the thinker, right? So all of it does not come in. That's what he's trying to say. Okay, in fact, he has discussed this much earlier, if you remember.
Yeah.
So the what the doer has to do is it has to husband. It means
Full,
economize it,
yeah.
play with whatever it has. Husband is manage only with whatever it has to reclaim whatever light is loaned to it, what is given to. Whatever little light is given to the loan, it has to economize it and to reclaim it and keep it so it doesn't go out. That's what I understand. Okay?
Yeah, that makes sense actually, Jagdish sir. Yeah. Because
That's my
the
understanding.
doer
Yes.
here is the doer in our body, soul part.
Yes.
Yeah. Because with the
It,
previous
it, it
statements we were talking about
basically it
how
has to
we
manage
are
it.
doing.
Basically,
No,
it has
no,
to
he
manage,
has
which is
brought in both the doers. The doer in
Yes.
the human body has to pull it.
that
Yes.
it does. That no, it
Yes.
can't pull it all. It doesn't give. When occasionally you say think, sometimes you feel that like no, the light something, the eye. That is when the light is trying to come to the physical doer. But in general, the transfer doer, what he says here is whatever light is loaned to it, it has to economize, husband it, and that is what it has to manage. That's all that is
సంధ్య
said.
కొంచెం పెరుగు మట్టుకు
This,
ఇవ్వు.
what it says is a reclaim. That
Reclaim.
Yeah.
he had
That
it
is load,
before.
because it keeps going up, no? Because still in the doer of the trans self.
No, but he
So it
had
is-
it possibly before entering the body. Is that what?
Yeah,
it-
this is not necessarily about the body.
Yeah.
Not necessarily about the body.
Because when he says reclaim, I
Ah.
was wondering that it was with the
Yes. That's it.
soul already.
Not that of the body.
No,
not
no,
of the
no.
body.
And the reason why
Not of the
that is
body.
allowed is there in the next sentence.
Okay. Okay.
So, yeah, without
Yeah.
this automatic process of reclamation, a doer would soon be bankrupt and lost. So he is going to lose all the light.
So,
Without
That's
that,
so
the
there is a
previous
mechanism built in so that he can retain a portion of it available to him.
Others,
No,
you won't know what to
Chandra,
do.
previous
Others, you won't know
statements
what
are
to do.
no, previous statements are talking about the certain habits like alcohol and all that they mentioned, how we are losing through those habits, narcotics and alcohol, we are losing some of the light. So it is the doer in our body at the soul level, he has to manage to reclaim that by not following the, not losing by, due to the
Bad
bad
habits.
habits of
No, no,
ours.
no. What
That-
he is saying
that-
about alcohol
not just
is it will
narcotics.
hinder
Too
it
complicated.
will hinder the process of reclamation.
Right. Right.
It will only hinder.
Yes.
Not
See-
necessarily narcotics and alcohol. Any kind of
Exactly.
thinking, that is any kind of thinking.
Yeah. May even it will hinder, but it will hinder even the reclamation process.
Hmm.
That means the consciousness or the comprehension ability of the doer, which is in the body, is diminished under those circumstances, and under normal circumstances also, while he has a little bit of light available to him, he may have to pull more out of it from the triune self. It is like our stretching ourselves to recall something.
See, normally, even in the usual process of your thinking, etc., you keep exchanging, right? The light. It's kind
Yeah.
of a, it goes. So you have to, whatever goes up, you have to keep getting. That's what I mean by reclaiming. You have to keep getting it back in order to remain what we call stable or remain sensible, if you want to use a very crude word.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
does it have to be
where
return
are we
Yeah,
to-
because
reclaiming back
it keeps
from?
going. See, some of it is loaned to it. It goes back, right? You repay that. So you have to keep getting it back. That's what by reclaiming. To maintain a minimum amount of light that is required by you, by the doer, it has to keep reclaiming, because otherwise it seeps out. Gradually it seeps out completely. So
Right.
it has to keep reclaiming. That's what it means by the word reclaim.
Okay, so you're saying the reclaiming the lower self of the body doer has to reclaim that
Yes, because it seeps out.
from
when
the
you're trying-
triune
yes.
self doer.
Yes. That's my understanding.
Possibly, yeah. Yeah.
I think Chandra sir, he stepped out.
There is some call on there.
The noetic atmosphere moves in regular action to noetic breath.
Okay, without this automatic process of reclamation, a doer would soon be bankrupt and lost. In
Correct.
the noetic atmosphere, it moves in regular action, the noetic breath. This carries the light of the intelligence by inspiration into the physical body within the reach of the nature, and carries by aspiration the available light from the body reclaimed from nature back into the noetic atmosphere.
Right. We have earlier read that the nature, how does it get the light? Only through kind of a
Humans.
dispersion, dilute. No, it's diluted, right? It seeps. The nature doesn't directly get you the light there. It slowly seeps. If you remember the week before last, we had discussed this. So
Yeah.
when it goes out there, okay,
Ah.
now it has to keep coming back. That's what it says from the nature. That's what
Yeah.
he's trying to say. Otherwise, what happens? It goes off and you are helpless. See, somehow to give an extreme example, there are people who, in a case like autistic people, not actually autistic, I say some other people they're totally helpless. They don't know what to do. These are the people who the light has completely gone out into nature from their body, not been able to reclaim it. These are the totally helpless people who don't know what to do, who cannot do anything. Helpless people is what I call.
Okay.
So, Jagadish, so based on that, that's what, your previous explanation makes sense, because the way we are losing is through the, inappropriate thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay. The usual
To
means
get
by
in,
which.
Pardon? You're saying something?
Okay. The usual means by which light that has been input is raised is carriage by a lunar germ. The usual means by which the light has been input is raised is carriage by a lunar germ. Such a germ is produced once a month, descends on the right side in a week, reaches the region of the solar plexus. In another week, it reaches the large intestines and the lowest point of its descent, and during the third week ascends to the kidneys on the left side. Okay.
Yeah, this
What is
just
the
explains what happens. No,
Yeah.
this is he's explaining over the period, how
yeah,
much time it takes and what period it takes. Some of
yeah,
these things I don't
We,
know. I'm not very sure. We need somebody else to have read because there's something as are questionable. It's his experience that we are talking about. It's not a concept that he's developing. So he has his idea that so many days it takes to go, so many weeks it goes to. Yeah, we can totally accept because it's going to not going to matter for the total concept whether we
yeah.
accept it or not.
yeah,
You can
Jagdish. I mean, we don't even have to remember all these things.
absolutely,
Yeah,
you're
No.
right.
because what happens, what happens. What we need to remember is that how we can ascend, how
Absolutely right.
best we
Correct.
will be able to do. Yeah, energy comes in, energy goes out. You have got only a limited type of energy. And the only thing that I would like to understand is that, hey, control yourself so that energy will not be lost.
Hmm.
So whatever energy that you can preserve inside, preserve, good, bad,
Yeah.
whatever it is. And I mean, those for these details, I think we can just skip through or read through. Madam is
Read through
reading, that's
because
all.
yes,
We don't really need to discuss on these things, I think.
yes,
Because
See,
yes.
anyway, we are
I
not
agree.
going to
I
remember.
beg to differ a little bit,
Hmm.
because this is the spiritual side of how things happen.
Yeah,
Now,
how things happen, yes.
let me complete. So, when somebody is aspiring to be a spiritual counselor for health, he needs to understand this entire process. For generic reading, it is of no use.
Yeah, yeah.
It is just
Okay.
to understand and you can forget.
Yeah,
And
for
many of
medical
us
field.
here are also people who are undergoing the training in spiritual tablets where anatomy is not taught.
Yeah.
So for them, understanding this at a process level is important. So that
Yeah,
when
no,
I
I
am
agree.
meditating, I can divert my attention to that entire process flow.
I'm not questioning the process.
Hmm.
The point that I made was it talks about that on the in 1 week. I'm talking about the time
Correct.
spans that he's talking
Yeah.
about. Okay,
It
that this
doesn't
happens
make
right.
another week.
sense.
That is what I'm saying. That's what
Correct.
I'm saying.
Hmm.
That's what I'm
No,
pointing.
only the process is important.
Yeah, process is
Understanding the
process.
process. Yeah.
Yeah, that's process.
Right.
Okay. Usually, the lunar germ, after it has ascended to the region of the kidneys, with the aid of the pull exercised by the generative breath, on account of the noetic breath, it drops back to the sexual organs and it is lost.
Hmm?
So, he's saying lunar germ is produced once a month, and if it is not, it is lost. Usually the lunar germ after it, I think I read this. If it were not for the automatic protection which the monthly germ receives because of the noetic breath, the germ would be lost on its path downward from the solar plexus and would never ascend to the left kidney. So,
When you say because of the noetic breath, the noetic breath is what? It's the kind of information or knowledge that it creates, right? So probably it's not what we talk about as a conspicuous knowledge that we talk about breath, but it's what is internal, involuntary probably that happens. This noetic breath is an involuntary, the involuntary process of this is what I believe, because we're not conscious of this. Apparently it happens regularly. Otherwise it is lost. Since we don't lose it as a normal human being, it apparently keeps happening involuntarily.
No, and why is that necessary? The next
Yes.
para in bold explains it very well.
the run of human beings would, owing to the pull of nature, become idiots in one life if
Right.
it were not for the automatic reclamation of light and the protection which our germ usually receives.
This is what I meant by people who are helpless.
Hmm.
I didn't want to use the word idiot, who don't know anything.
Very
This is
clearly.
exactly what explains.
For this reason, the lunar germ cannot be lost on its path from the head to the solar plexus. So for this reason, the lunar germ cannot be lost on its path from the head to the solar plexus. From the solar plexus, downward and downward, from the solar plexus downward and then upward towards the left kidneys, it is protected. So that means from the Manipura chakra onwards, up. From the solar plexus downward and then upward towards the left kidney, it is protected. But from the kidneys to the head, if it goes there at all, it can go only as the result of self-control. Kidneys to the head, we need to be aware of it and to be the self-control only. Okay, reclamation of light by self-control. Automatic reclamation is done by the psychic breath, taking light away from the lunar germ and along the nerves of the digestive system upward from the region of the left kidney and adrenal. Is this the Kriya Yoga does all this? Pulling out up, like they say in Kriya Yoga, we put the attention on the breath, like a circulation in the body going downward and pulling up. That's what they do.
So that's what does it make a one circular from head to kidney and kidney to the head? The lunar germ, the path of lunar.
Yeah, self-control. Reclamation of light by self. Okay. Okay, automatic reclamation is done by the psychic breath, taking light away from the lunar germ and along the nerves of the digestive system, upward from the region of the left kidneys and adrenal. The three stages of the reclamation by self-control are made by the doer, the thinker, and the knower. So these self-controls are made by three portions of the triune self, doer, thinker, and knower. Then these three parts of the triune self take off light from the lunar germ and take the germ itself up the spinal cord of the voluntary nervous system. So the three stages of the reclamation by self-control are made by the doer, thinker, and the knower. Then these three parts of the triune self take off light from the lunar germ and take the germ itself up the spinal cord to the up the voluntary nervous system. The basis of all four kinds of reclamation is the automatic process by which light is from the food prepared for the lunar germ. What is this? The basis for all four kinds of reclamation is the automatic process by which light is from food prepared for the lunar germ. I don't know what is that food for the lunar germ. Is this the radiant light? He's not, the food.
Prior to that,
we have already discussed this, right? How the lunar germ gets all the food from all the types, right?
Radiant light. Yeah.
That's what it means. Yeah.
The first stage of voluntary reclamation of light that has come into the
One question,
body.
ma'am. One question
Yeah.
before you go further. So the previous statements of the doer, thinker, and knower, those are at the body level we are talking about?
No, triune self. Clearly says it's the triune self.
So in that case, what is the food for the tree?
It's not, no, food is not for the triune self. The, see, this connect, this is, no, these are two different things you're talking about. Here you're talking about the lunar germ. See, this is what maintains your body, right? Ultimately, in summary,
Yeah,
it's the lunar germ that's required to maintain the body, right?
yeah,
And where does this body come from? Ultimately, it's from triune self, right?
yeah.
That's what it says. So these two are different. Now he is talking only about the reclamation light within the body to the lunar germ. So these two should be read in conjunction, not as
So
one
what are
depending on
the
the
then 4 kinds of reclamation we are talking here?
no, not 4 kinds of reclamation. The foods of different types we talked about. No, fire. That's through the lunar, through the circulatory system is one thing. From the outside air you take to the respiratory system. All this we talked about earlier. That's what you're
Yeah.
referring to.
Oh, okay.
See some of the light through the skin and the eyes and the respiratory, circulatory, in all these 4 systems, and the food through the digestive.
Okay.
Food is not
The
just
base
the matter food that you're talking about. This food refers to all the types of food.
light form,
The,
breath form, yeah. Oh, hold on.
the first of the voluntary. That's where we are to.
Sorry, I was
The
off
first
the
of,
screen because I was having my dinner.
okay. The first stage of voluntary reclamation. From there you should read.
See, the 4 kinds of reclamation are the 4 systems through which it is passing, as Jagdish sir
Correct.
explained. Yeah.
Sorry.
Let's
Okay,
go
the
ahead.
3 stages. Yeah,
The
the
first,
3 stages like reclamation by self-control are made by the doer, thinker, and the knower. Then these 3 parts of the triune self take off light from the lunar germ and take the germ itself up the spinal cord of the voluntary nervous system.
hereafter is in your control. That's voluntary system. Yeah.
Yeah.
The basis of all 4 kinds of reclamation is the automatic process by which light is from food prepared for the lunar germ. The first stage of voluntary reclamation of light that has come into the body is the recovery of the light due to desire to do the right thing. This first stage has to do with the taking light away from the lunar germ, with carrying that light into the blood and to the heart and lungs, and with raising the lunar germ itself from the lowest point to about the junction of the first lumbar and the 12th dorsal vertebrae on the left side along the voluntary nervous system. I think, Chandra Garu, there is a figure for this, isn't it? The front and back.
That is
That
the
is
old one.
what.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not this. Not this. The front and back. The
Yeah,
energy
the
and the
nature, the triunes. This one.
this
Yes,
one.
this one. He is talking about, here it is going down in all these different words, and then this is the bridge. It crosses and goes back again into the front, and
He
then
has
it goes.
explained that in detail here. Okay. The regenerative, perfected, 2-column, sexless, immortal physical body for the triune self, showing the way in the body and its 3 sections: the form path, the life path, and the light path, the front or
Or the
nature
nature.
cord. That means these are the Sushumna and Ida and Pingala.
Ida, Pingala,
Right?
Sushumna. Yes. Yes.
the bridge that has been built between the two nervous systems, the central canal running down through the nature cord across the bridge and up through the spinal cord. These are the two. That is the Ida and
When it
Pingala, and yeah.
Yeah, when it goes crosses the bridge and it goes into the spinal cord, that is a Sushumna.
No, the
And front and
central one is Sushumna. These are the Ida and Pingala, no?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. In the here at the bridge, when everything is right, it crosses and it goes into the spinal
So let
upward.
us
That is
see
Sushumna.
what he is explaining. On the form path, extending from the end of the terminal filament to the 12th
This is what
dorsal vertebrae, a, a form body is developed by the doer,
For the doer.
developed for the doer. The psychic part of the triune self is the being of form world. Okay. From the psychic part. On the life path, extending from the 12th to the 7th cervical vertebrae, a life body is being created. So all of them are in basically in energy component till it has to materialize.
yes, in the spinal cord, different functions.
So this is the growth of the fetus as well as the regenerative system in the body, both.
When he talks about terminal filament, I think that is what Sushumna is.
That is the bridge. The terminal filament is the bridge.
No, I think it is Sushumna. He talks much more further, I think.
I don't know what is Sushumna, but I agree with Chandra that this basically you're talking about the bridge which is what connects nature with the
No,
energy
that
body.
is, sir, Sushumna comes as one of the three main nadis of the nervous system.
I don't know the name.
Center.
I don't know the names.
The central one, the central filament of the body, which is supposed to be 6 inches, up to 6 inches in width.
And front and back are the Ida
But
and
the other
Pingala.
two accompanying ones. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's go back. Yeah, this is where we
Where
were, right? The first stage of the voluntary reclamation, right?
yeah. The first stage of the reclamation of light in the body is done by a human who does not want to be led by nature into doing things he feels that nature wants. That is controlling senses, unnecessary, just controlling not to do unnecessary things. Who wants to be led into doing what is best for him and who does his duties not grudgingly but cheerfully. This relates especially to eating and sex, to the desires for possessions, a name or fame, and for the power. Okay, this relates especially to eating and sex, to the desires for the possessions, a name or fame, and for power. So we're not people are who are not doing for unnecessary for all these things for a name and fame and a power, just not doing grudgingly, doing cheerfully his duties. So then, he essence, I think. That's what
Let's read
the
further. If such a control is the
if such a control is the endeavor of a human, his desire will, without his being conscious. If such a control is the endeavor of a human, his desire will, without his being conscious of it, takes away some of the light which is carried by the lunar germ when it has risen as high as the left kidney.
that is more like an addiction, where he has lost control. Would you not agree?
Who does not want to be led by nature into doing what is best for him, and who
See,
does
what
it
is he
not
saying? The first stage of the reclamation of light in the body is done by a human who does not want to be led by nature into doing things he feels that nature wants. What is that? It is going against his will. He doesn't want to do something in a particular manner. Let us read further. Right? The same thing. He doesn't want to be led. Who wants to be led into doing what is best for him and who does his duties. So, what does he say? The first stage of reclamation of the light in the body is done by a human who does not want to be led by nature. By nature means it has become his unconscious body. Correct? Into doing things he feels that nature wants. So his consciousness is not there. Nature wants is the involuntary system.
But the things he does for to keep the body mind happy.
Correct. So
Not only body, he keeps.
He doesn't want to do something in a natural manner, basically.
Yeah.
He wants to be led into doing what is best for him and who does his duties. Not grudgingly, but cheerfully. Right? So, if you take, for example, he has to do exercise, he should be doing it cheerfully.
Yeah.
This relates especially to eating and sex, to the desires for possessions, a name or fame, and for power. So, particularly for this, he doesn't want to be led by nature. He wants to do it cheerfully and he wants to be led into it
With a sense of wisdom. That's what. It's a
Correct,
sense of
exactly.
doing things with a sense of wisdom. That's what he says.
He wants to do it with a sense of responsibility. I will use that word because that is what we are used to. Right?
Yeah.
If such a control, if this were the control that the human was trying to exercise, his desire will, without his being conscious of it, take away. If such a control is, if he is trying to exercise such a control, right, without his being conscious of it, it will take away the light which is carried by the lunar germ when it has risen. That means if he is not exercising that control, he will lose that light. Yeah. Let us go further.
After the psychic and the mental breaths have they taken some light for the noetic atmosphere, in the course of the automatic saving, desire living in the blood may bear some of the remaining light away in the bloodstream. After the psychic and the mental breaths have they taken some light from the noetic atmosphere, in the course of the automatic saving, desire living in the blood may bear some of the remaining light away in the bloodstream. The only time when desire can get this light is during 1 to 3 days of each month when a lunar germ is near the kidneys. The light which desires get in this way mingles with it but does not blend. The human does not know about the reclamation except that he may feel a slight sensation of cheer.
It's a kind of rejuvenation that takes place this period.
Yeah.
Now, is this the full moon period, that 3 days?
Maybe that is not clear. That is not very clear. But from the earlier passage, it could be.
Yeah. Maybe.
1 to 3
we
days.
don't, I think, let me try to dig further if I can get anything out of it.
Probably
From
because 1 to 3 days of each month when a lunar germ is near the kidneys. Yeah.
Is it during the moon, full moons and all?
No,
That's what he says.
that's
Possible.
what we are
That's what possible.
suspecting.
From what is
Yeah.
written
We are
earlier, it
suspecting
looks
that
like
it
it's
could
so. It
be.
is so. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go
In the
further.
blood, there is bound light and free light.
No, no,
Light.
no. See, the
Yeah.
light. This line, I don't think we have completed. Have we?
We covered. That's what we just covered. The human does not
Okay.
Yeah.
know about the reclaiming except that he may feel slight sense of cheer. We discussed rejuvenation is what I said.
Okay.
Light which desire
In the
gets in the way with it, but does not blend. The human does not know about the reclamation except that he may feel a slight sensation of cheer. In the blood, there is bound light and free light. Light, which was extracted from the digestive system of the body, is bound light and cannot be taken up by the desire until a lunar germ has extracted it. Light which desire has brought into the blood remains free until it is either reclaimed by thinking or until desire unites with the light when the breath meets the circulatory system in the heart and lungs, and only when a thought is conceived or entertained. So when it is satisfied, when the desire.
ये mind में नहीं
but
जा
but
रहा है.
dip- but depends on what kind of desire he is talking about. See, we always talked about the balance between desire and feeling, isn't it? Talking about
Yes.
desire without touching upon the feeling is a little confusing here. I don't know what he is actually taking is into, at least as far as I'm
Sir,
concerned.
the way I am understanding it, I mean, it is not proper.
Hmm.
It is coming to heart and lungs.
Hmm.
Okay, rightness and reason has to play a role.
Hmm.
Yeah, this is
Right.
yes.
Now, I think he is highlighting that fact from a practical implementation point. See, the blood there is bound light. It is bound light and free light. Two kinds of light. Two kinds of intelligence are there. Light which was extracted from the digestive system of the body is bound light and cannot be taken up by desire until a lunar germ has extracted it. The matter pertaining to that which is going up to the lungs, light which desire has brought into the blood, is free, and it remains free until it is either reclaimed by thinking or until desire unites with the light when the breath meets the circulatory system in the heart and lungs, and only when a thought is conceived. So, the free light is not claimed till or is not entertained
Until a desire.
correct, until a desire is processed and released to become a thought.
Yeah.
So, if you were to separate these two, to my understanding, the first one, look at example is the first one which is not under our control, the blood that within the blood goes. We say blood boils. We don't buy something happens. Blood boils. We say that is different from where we have a better control, where we look at our desire.
Voluntary control and involuntary control are the two parameters he has touched upon.
Yes. That is right. Correct.
Yeah.
That is correct. Yes.
And now it makes sense.
Yes. It does.
We will stop here.
Okay.
Because it is almost time. Ma'am, we can do one thing. Let us read this 17 once again. Slowly. Okay. Because my mouth was full and brain was not working when you were reading.
Your brain was not working now. My brain rarely works.
Reclamation by self-control. Automatic regulation is done by the psychic breath, taking light away from the lunar germ and along the nerves of the digestive system, upward from the region of the left kidney and adrenals. because
Now,
that's
what is
where
psychic breath? What is psychic breath? Is the breath which is coming from the mental atmosphere, or it is going after being processed through the lungs. Right? Right? That is what is there in the psychic atmosphere. That is the breath. Okay. Automatic reclamation is done by the psychic breath, taking light away from the lunar germ and along the nerves of the digestive surface. That means it is pull up. It is the one that is being pulled up from the region of the left kidney and adrenal. Okay, that means it has gone through the heart and it is going up. Okay.
Circle.
Right. वहां तक तो समझ में आया. That light is claimed by the lunar germ. After it has come from the pituitary gland, it has got released, moved to the left kidney, right? And then it is rising up through the left kidney into the heart to be released to the emotion has got created, right? The 3 stages of reclamation by self-control are made by the doer, the thinker, and the knower. So the 3 stages of self-control is under the body-mind, sir. It is not the triune self here. Correct?
Self-control
Would you
has to be.
agree?
Self-control has, yes. Self-control has to be.
So are made by the doer, and he is leveraging the light from the thinker and doer. That means he is in touch with his triune self. Then these 3 parts of the triune self take off light from the lunar germ and take the germ itself up the spinal cord to the voluntary nervous system. So both the doers are here.
It's like taking hold of your hand.
Correct.
The lunar germ is the body, is taking hold of your hand and guiding you.
Exactly. It is the unit. The material unit is the lunar germ.
Yes.
Basically, the cell in the body is what I feel ultimately. Okay. The basis of all 4 kinds of reclamation is the automatic process by which light is from food. Light is prepared for the lunar germ. Where is it prepared from? It is prepared from the food. Right? So,
which we had discussed earlier, all types of food.
Correct. All kinds of food. The first stage of voluntary reclamation. So, voluntary reclamation is first by the doer who is charging the body unit from the food. It is being taken by the triune self. While it is being created and energized and all, right? So, that's self-control. The first stage of voluntary reclamation of light that has come into the body is the recovery of the light due to desire
to do the right thing.
To do the right, correct? The
We
first
always
stage
discuss
has
the
to,
light comes because we already discussed long ago, when you get the light is to do,
and then
you
the
decide
light
what is
can
the right thing
only
to do.
come through the body.
Yes.
It has to come from the noetic environment to the mental, through the psychic, and then reach the Mother Earth. That is nature. Correct. Now here what is he saying? That is done by means of that lunar germ. Lunar germ, the invisible material, correct? That is how it is getting charged. Now self-control. How is he doing it? The self-control, the three stages of reclamation. So automatic reclamation is done by the psychic breath, by the emotion. And it is extracting the light from the lunar germ along the nerves of the digestive system. So from the food, it is transmitted through the left kidney. It is coming up to the heart and lungs and then going to the psychic atmosphere. That portion we have been able to establish. Now the three kinds, the three stages of reclamation by self-control are made by the doer. Okay. The three stages are the doer, the thinker, the knower are doing the reclamation. While it has taken that, what is it? What is happening on the other side? This is the nature side. The doer in the body is doing it on the nature side. These three parts of the triune self take off light from the lunar germ and take the germ itself. That means they leave the light behind. They leave the light behind and take the germ itself up the spinal cord of the voluntary nervous system. The light has moved, I think, to the desire part. Right, because that is how it has reached the psychic atmosphere. Let us see this. The basis of all four kinds of reclamation is the automatic process by which light is prepared for the lunar germ. That is the four kinds of reclamation. It is going through the four systems, right? And through all the four systems, that light is getting assigned. Right. The first stage of voluntary reclamation of light that has come into the body, okay, it has come into the body because of the unit, is the recovery of the light due to desire. Correct. So it has gone into desire. So that...
no, desire to do the right thing. The light
correct.
comes. See, if there is no light, your desire is not to do the right thing.
Right. Now, this first stage has to do with thinking and with taking light away from the lunar germ, with carrying that light into the blood and to the heart and the lungs, with raising the lunar germ itself from the lowest point to about the junction of the first lumbar. Where is the first lumbar? It is at the junction point that in that picture 6D, right?
Bridge
It is
diagram.
near the bridge. That is where the first lumbar after the coccyx, right?
Yeah.
That bend of the coccyx is. Okay. That means it has come to the bridge. Then what is happening? Junction of the first lumbar and the 12th dorsal vertebrae on the left side along the voluntary nervous system. एक बार इसका पिक्चर देखते हैं. He said 12th dorsal, right? Where is the 12th dorsal?
I think this is the region. Below.
अरे ये कहाँ से आ गई? Where is the...
नहीं, आया था. Just
where is that picture gone?
Go back.
Some lady has come.
12 dorsal, I think. Below. It's comes somewhere here.
Yeah.
12 dorsal comes somewhere here.
Understanding the 12th dorsal.
The thoracic region.
12th dorsal. इसको
Here.
बोलते हैं thoracic में आता है क्या dorsal? नहीं ना?
Yes,
In the
looks
ये
like
तो
yellow,
that.
T1 T2 है. हाँ, 12 तो
yeah,
एक
in
ही
the
है, ये है.
yeah,
Small
yellow region and
intestines, lymph.
Where it
the last,
slightly bends. Where
Yeah,
it's slightly
here,
bending, that's the 12th.
here, यहाँ पर.
That's the 12th.
And the first lumbar is also the close by.
yes, first.
Yeah, okay, ठीक है. तो मतलब along the lowest end of the spine. Okay,
Mm.
आ गया. ठीक है. ठीक है. Okay, that is the location. The first stage of the reclamation of light in the body is done by a human who does not want to be led by nature into doing things he feels that nature wants. Doing what is best for him, and okay. So he wants to do it voluntarily, he doesn't want to do it involuntarily. That means it should not be part of
Thinks. He is a
the
person who wants to think.
subconscious or the unconscious. It can be subconscious, it cannot be unconscious.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to do it by habit. He wants to do it under his conscious influence. Okay. यहां तक तो समझ में आया. If such a control is the endeavor of human, his desire his desire take will take away some of the light which is carried by the lunar germ when it has risen as high as the left kidney. That means if it has come up to the left kidney, the next stage is released to the psychic atmosphere. Correct? So now what is he saying? Now what is he saying? He is saying when it is so without his being conscious of it, the habit, that means the subconscious, the unconscious mind, what will happen?
Takes
If he
away
has
some light.
done it and he has processed it and he has made it a habit, it will go through without his knowledge. Okay, he has trained himself to do it voluntarily, but it has to be right. Yes, all those things have been met. He has made that a habit. Like the way we are meditating. Initially, when we start meditating, right, because we are told that our thoughts should not wander elsewhere, right? When we start with meditation, the first thing that happens is we start thinking of everything. The rasagullas of the world, the gulab jamuns of the world, all these are the images that come to the mind. Then we train that mind because we don't want to become a victim. Now, even though we are not aware of it, it is still going out of our control to do what I want to do consciously, but as a habit. That is the end meaning of this.
Like in general, doing righteousness, you develop a quality of being always doing the right thing.
I mean,
Being
that
righteous.
is the ethical training that we undergo.
Absolute. That's what we talk about.
Right. So, right now, after the psychic and the mental breaths have taken some light for the noetic atmosphere, that means in that regime, the psychic and the mental breaths that are existing have taken some of the light that is available there for the noetic atmosphere. Desire living in the blood may bear some of the remaining light away from the bloodstream. Because unless the desire is not there and supported by thought, I think he should be taking us to the thought here. The only time when desire can get this light is during 1 to 3 days of each month when a lunar germ is near the kidneys. We need to correlate that to confirm that it is that
It's a full moon.
lunar.
Yeah. Full.
The light which, because that full moon happens only once a month. Okay. The light which desire gets in its way mingles
In
with
this way.
it. In this way, mingles with it, but does not blend. It mingles but is not digested. When it is blended, it has become part and parcel of it. It is existing there. The human does not know about the reclamation except that he may feel a slight sensation of cheer, some
Feeling
sort
good.
of a satisfactory
Feel,
acceptance.
feel good. Feel good sensation.
So that happens when the processing is complete. Okay. In the blood, there is bound light and free light. Light which was extracted from the digestive system of the body is bound light. So
It's in
bound
the
light,
blood.
matlab it is already mingled. It is not mingled, it is blended.
With the desire.
Yeah.
It cannot move. This light cannot move out.
So
It's in the
desire
blood.
cannot pull it because it has become digested. Okay. Now, light which desire has brought into blood is still free. It has not yet manifested. It is lying there and remains free until it is either
Thinking.
reclaimed by thinking or until desire unites with the light when the breath meets the circulatory system. That means it is tending towards a thought, right? In the heart and lungs, when it has blended there, it has reached there, it has reached the heart and lungs, and only when a thought is conceived or entertained. So, okay, I think I will have to do one more reading to get more clarity. Actually, I
I
was
wish you.
putting together. Pardon?
It's a very good lot of knowledge is there. I wish he had used like easy language.
Right.
Yeah, that is, see, I suspect what is happening. Let us see. I can read into his mind. See, he has not built a theory, concept, and with a central theme
Now,
of
whatever
he's
he
talking
has
about.
experienced is in
Experience
bits
is
and
coming out.
pieces.
So he
Yeah.
every time, oh, I had to say this again. So he doesn't realize
No,
that he has already said something or as experience because purely experiential. So
Yeah.
he's
so
trying to
I have been able to
use.
put together one slide. Is the slide visible?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, right? So this is the noetic, the mental, psychic, and physical as atmospheres. Okay.
Yeah.
It is imaginary, but the way it is going to take effect is a large cloud consisting of all the particles. That is this one. Okay. Now, the particles that are existing here have got 4 cavities that they fit into. Okay. Now, there is a natural process of how life is joining it, etc., in terms of energies. Okay. So, this is that natural process which we have picked up from Joe Dispenza. Now, within the body, there is a particular pathway, but this natural process, taking the impressions that are there at each vortex level, right, is ending up creating the corresponding. This is your pineal, pituitary, the crown chakra. This is the Agnya Chakra, the throat, the heart, and then the survival chakras. So this material in this process that is going in is under normal circumstances is from the mother to the birth of the child, it has created all these systems. Okay. Now what is happening is after the first breath, all this that we have read, I need to integrate that also into one such diagram. From the noetic plane, it has come up to this level. Okay. So these are your Akashic record patterns are also sitting in the environment that is surrounding you, part of the aura. Your corresponding patterns that are matching are getting sucked in by these clouds. Right. And all these components are thereby getting created. That much has been completed so far. This is the commitment I gave in the first week, right? When we didn't follow anything.
Good.
Yeah,
Right.
I think
So,
now.
Now slowly the remaining part also once I add, I think I will get full clarity. Your mental destiny, your physical destiny, all those are sitting in these clouds. I thought I could do the whole thing in one slide. It is not possible. I need 2-3 slides to complete entire thinking destiny into 3 or 4 slides. If I am able to create, then we have collectively been able to put together the concept very clear so that everybody can benefit from it. So now I am able to trigger this, and once this current chapter of each system and its functionality, if I am able to create the corresponding diagram, then I think the understanding will be complete. So I have come up to this stage now.
Wow, a lot of work. Very good job. Actually, putting
No,
all these diagrams.
this is the outcome of a 2-hour meditation. And the intent
Well
was I am
done.
not able to follow bits and pieces I am following, but I am not able to follow. So this became the diagrams that actually came in my vision when I was meditating.
But you should write the names of these different atmospheres here.
No, slowly.
Yeah.
On the rightmost figure, we have this the rope thing, right? Like we that we can represent as a lunar germ. It is going from top to down and then making another
No,
circle,
lunar
right?
germ is in one of
No,
these
not
stages.
in the
No,
in the
she's talking
top,
about
in the
this
bottom
one.
picture.
No,
Bottom
this
one.
one
No,
is
that's
the
not.
no. This is the wave motion, the
Current.
energy within the body.
Yeah, so I'm saying maybe the lunar germ pattern can be similar to that.
No,
No,
lunar
no,
germ
not
pattern is the
Not in the top, not in the top, in the bottom.
No,
I'm
no,
saying.
it
the
is
bottom
the cell formation of the cell.
is a physical form, lunar germ.
Correct.
Yeah, but it is making a circular path from the top to bottom and then bottom
No,
to top.
that's the kind of that's
No,
the
that
nervous
is
system.
that is
Energy
not the lunar
is
germ. This is the intent and all the energy flow, the
energy flow.
pathway that your creation of the thought, all those will move along these lines. This is the esoteric anatomy. Ratnagaru.
No, that is
No,
fine. I'm not contradicting with that. But what we have just learned in the
no, that
the
will
previous
be that will
because it
be
is making a circular path from top to bottom and bottom to top again.
no one sec.
Not that.
I
It's a
will
regular
While
let me
circle.
going
blow
through
up
the
this.
different body
No, you are
organs.
going through that. Let me help you. Right? Are you able to see
I'm
this?
just saying, can we
No.
picturize that in this format or
No, I'm answering that. Do you see this?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah,
This can
yeah.
be thought of as a lunar germ. This is a unit. Are you able to visualize? Now,
Yeah.
how is this moving along this path? It is coming to the lowest end. From there, it
What's
is
your
going
name?
to the
Oh,
left
yeah,
kidney
please
and then
say that.
moving up and all, right?
I'll send them my
Yeah.
So your
So,
MBA, I'm a student.
right. So, how will it move? Just imagine that movement. This is the pathway. But
No, the
this,
external part you're talking. Oh, okay.
no, external and internal, both. Within the body, if it has to move, right? This is the one that has got the light from the particle and all that. So, that shape, okay, right? That is the one that will rise up, that will go through all these particles, etc., in the energy form. Okay. So, that way you can imagine.
It's basically energy unit, radiant energy unit.
What?
Isn't it this particle is the carbon
No.
is showing
See,
it's a
let me put it this way.
That's only an energy path. That's not a
Correct. See,
particle.
no
what
the
you can consider, wait, let me see
particle.
if I have that. Do you see the picture on the right hand side, ma'am? Ratnagar. This? You see the picture on the right hand side?
Ratna?
Ma'am?
Yes, I
Ah.
can see. Yeah.
You are able to see this, correct? Now, what is this? This is the individual 50 trillion cells that you have in the body, correct?
Physical body.
Condensed.
This 50 trillion cells are made up of what? The Panchabhutas?
Nature elements.
These are the nature elements. And these have got energized by the light component that have been taken from the food. That is the lunar germ. Okay. Now, when it has extracted the food, it is the lunar germ which is active. How is the lunar germ being transmitted? By means of your breath. How is it traveling? It is traveling through this path, undergoing a change here, then coming up, mixing with the heart and all, and then getting released to the psychic atmosphere.
Yes.
Now it is clear?
Yeah, got that. Yeah.
Yeah. So nothing, a cell is the lunar germ. Okay? Yeah. So we are collectively making some progress in terms of being able to visualize what is it and all that.
Chandraji,
Yes.
namaskar.
Namaskar.
I have a question. Maybe it's not relevant, but I would like to see where is the Shiva in this picture? Where is it? This is a particle is the Shiva? Or before the particle is the Shiva?
No. Shiva is one portion of...
Shiva is the, if I'm explaining, Shiva is the concept of consciousness.
Correct.
Period. Shiva Om, we say, is
Correct.
consciousness. That's the entire thing. This is not particularly representative of Shiva or anything like that.
No, this is not the complete full battalion of Shiva, not the full complement of Shiva.
So this individual particle, which is lunar thing, so lunar flex, is not that one particle would be Shiva, right? The zero Shunya is the
No.
only consciousness.
Shiva
Shunya
is
is
consciousness. Shiva
correct.
is consciousness. That's what it means. Period. You are talking about a particular particle. It
Correct.
could be
Yeah.
purely an energy particle. It could be a matter particle. Like the lunar jump is a matter particle.
So can we say that one particle in lunar germs would be? We can say the Shiva? That's
No,
the
It is a
no,
unit of
no.
Shiva. You can say that it is a
Ev-
small,
unit of
minuscule
Shiva.
unit.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes.
See, Shiva is Brahman, consciousness,
See,
overall thing. And
Shiva is the
it include,
ultimate, right?
it could
Shiva
even
is the
include, if you want, the
ultimate.
entire celestial body, the multi-universe.
That is
That
Shiva.
is Shiva.
Okay.
Okay.
So if the entire universe is the Shiva, it's
Hmm.
no different than in lunar particle. Is the same,
No, no.
right? It is
It's
one
just a
particle
part. See,
is
even a
No,
small
no.
atom of your
See,
body
look at,
is made
sir.
up of the
No,
same.
no, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Kumarji,
I was
look
saying
at
even
it this way. What did you
Yeah.
say? Repeat your sentence. The sentence has got the full meaning. If Shiva is the consciousness, then
Mm-hmm.
what is lunar germ? You said a particle. A particle that belongs to Shiva.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That
Yeah.
is the lunar germ.
Okay. Excellent. Thank you. I just want to
Right?
see the
Now,
Shiva.
there will be
Thank you.
millions and millions of billions and billions, actually
Mm.
trillions and
Mm-hmm.
trillions and trillions to make up a Shiva.
Yeah. Okay.
To
Thank you.
make up this human body,
Mm-hmm.
we have 50 to 100 trillion cells. Okay?
Yep.
Now, you see my house, right? But
Uh-huh.
if I go to raw material, it has got bricks. It has got bricks. Correct?
Yep.
When you construct a house, it has got bricks. Correct? Now,
Yes.
how many particles are there in a brick?
Yeah. Trillions.
Trillions, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now, this house is still a particle of Shiva.
Yeah. Mm.
So when you compare it that way, just look at the scale.
Mm-hmm.
How many such houses are there across the globe? There are particles of Shiva. Then subparticles and subparticles and subparticles. That is the enormity of Shiva.
Okay.
So at a micron stage, if I measure, I have got a lunar germ. So that is how we can visualize it.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm sorry. I think it's a very somewhat naive way of saying that. You said it correctly. I think it's naive. I'll go beyond that. I won't consider Shiva of any kind of particle at all. It's pure consciousness, and even a particle is consciousness, not
Correct.
matter.
Correct.
In that sense, yes.
No,
So
in
from
that
that point
sense
of view,
only I went. Yes, I got it.
that's it. Yes.
I mean, you just has to be, I just want to picturize,
See,
So
that's the part. I'm sorry, and that's the problem. You are trying to picturize something. That is
no.
called consciousness. You want to
So you
picturize
don't.
in your way. You are looking at it as an
No.
entity. Shiva is not an entity, please. Shiva is not. You want to picturize Shiva as an entity. Shiva is not an entity.
So you don't understand my complete sentence. So
Okay.
you have to understand. That's you
Yeah.
saying, okay? So how I understand the Shiva, so where is the fit in this particular conversation.
Shiva
That's what
is
I mean.
everything.
So you are not
No,
asking, I'm not asking you where the Shiva is, okay? So I want to see the way the Shiva is fit in this particular, the solar plex in particle. That's my question. So we don't
No.
understand.
See,
So thank you for the
Shiva,
clarifying.
what Jagdish sir is explaining is Shiva is not at all anything materialistic. Because the state of that materialistic item that you are saying, that state, that consciousness is Shiva. Are you able to get it, Kumarji?
Yeah, I know. I know. So this, I just want to throw the question. So how are you guys going to explain it? So I'm
No,
learning
I'm
the
going
same
to
time.
say
And you,
that
yeah.
the state of consciousness of a particle is a particle of Shiva. So it is the consciousness that we are referring to, not the matter, not the materialistic side of it.
Yeah. Okay.
If
So
you want to the other
Yeah.
extreme level, if you want to move away
Correct.
from a spiritual explanation, from an existential point of view, I will say what it is the being. When you say being, what do you mean by that? The being, the feeling of being, that is Shiva.
Correct.
In
So-
fact, Shankaracharya's very
Awareness,
famous verse,
actually, the
Shivoham
better
Shiva.
word, from a colloquial standpoint, the better word would be awareness.
Awareness, right?
So
If you listen to the Shankaracharya's poem, Shiva, what is it? I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm just Shiva.
Correct.
Have you heard that? Have you heard that poem by Shankaracharya?
Yeah. That is what Kailash Kher sings, no?
I don't know about Kailash singing. Yeah, that is there. It's a very popular, what do you call that? Bhajan or sloka or whatever you want to call it.
Shivoham, Shivoham.
Yes, Shivoham Shiva. So I'm not this, I'm not that, I'm not material, I'm not desire, anything. It's neither feeling nor matter, nothing. I'm Shiva, conscious. That's what it is.
So you have to discard everything. So you can see the different aspect explaining. If you starting giving the word, that's not the Shiva. That is beyond the word
Exactly.
and the Shiva.
Exactly, you got
Yeah,
it.
So I know
exactly,
that.
exactly.
I just
You
want
got
to
it.
see the solar plex. So where is this one? How you guys explain it, right? I just want to throw the question. I know the words. What is the Shiva? You cannot explain by word. You know that. I mean, yes, this is the thing. This is the learning. Thank you, guys.
You said it.
Back to you, Chandraji. Oh, thank you for the giving thing. If you start explaining by word, you cannot catch the Shiva. So that's
No,
the
you
that's the
cannot.
thing.
You cannot. You got it.
You cannot, you cannot.
Yeah.
You can.
Thank you, Chandraji. Thank
Yeah.
you, RKG. Yeah, this is we are in learning. Yeah, I mean, I just want looking for the Shiva, from your eye, particular space. Yeah, this is amazing. Yeah, back to you, Chandraji.
Yeah. So I think let us meet up tomorrow. We'll get some more clarity.
Right. Okay then. Bye.
What time tomorrow? The same time?
Same
9
time,
o'clock.
same link. This link
Okay.
is also available in the group description of Thinking and Destiny.
Okay. And then there's tonight another group, right? There's
Yes,
8
yes,
o'clock? Yeah.
yes.
Okay. Excellent.
Both.
Thank you so much for everyone, Master. So especially, Chandraji
No,
and
no,
all masters.
all of us are
Just
equally.
amazing.
Yeah. Okay. Shalom. Bye.
Yeah. Have a wonderful night and have a wonderful day. Okay. Thank you.
Right. Sure.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Shalom.